I'm Dr. Joe Esposito, and welcome to our podcast, For the Health of It. Remember to subscribe to our podcasts, and I'll help you naturally get well and stay well.
The information presented on this program is not intended to take the place of your personal physician's advice, and it is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Discuss this information with your own physician or healthcare provider to determine what is right for you.
Are you suffering needlessly? Dr. Joe can give you advice on how to naturally get well and stay well. Dr. Joe Esposito.
What we're talking about today is when you think you're eating right or taking care of yourself and you're not. And a lot of you make mistakes. We all do. I mean, I do it too. And I remember years ago when I was first getting into this journey and seeing something called hydrolyzed vegetable protein. And I thought to myself, well, protein is good and vegetables are good. And I don't know what hydrolyzed is. Hydrogen, I guess hydrogen is part of water. I guess that's good. And so I didn't think twice about eating it. Then it turns out when you take proteins, like soy protein, for example, and you do a hydrolyzation, I guess it is, you free up something called glutamic acid. And glutamic acid is the toxic part of monosodium glutamate. And so too much glutamic acid can be dangerous. And so, yeah, I thought I was doing it right. No one ever taught me anything different. Then my research came through and I went, you know what? That's probably not the best thing for me. So a lot of you are doing things you think are right and it's not, and that's okay. No one ever taught you. A famous guy once said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And we're all guilty of it. And so if you didn't know what you're doing, well, that's okay. So that's what we're covering today. If you just tuned in, this show is going to be on our website, drjoe.com, drjoe.com, along with about 1,500 hours of other shows. And so you can catch the whole show there. And a lot of times, and by the way, folks, you're not telling me anything I don't know. Dr. Joe, you talk too fast. I know that. Okay, you're not telling me something I don't know. I do talk fast. I get excited. I got so much to cover, and I only have so much time that when I get into my radio show mode, I just want to give you everything I know all at once. And I'm trying to, download about, 4 decades of information in a few minutes. So I know I talk fast. That's why we put these shows on the website, so you can listen to them again and again and again. You can slow them down if you want to, whatever works best for you. But again, the website's there 24 hours a day, drjoe.com. So sometimes when people change their diets, they go to the other extreme. They went from eating bad foods and eating too much foods, and then they say, I'm not going to eat anything. And again, the taste buds will change, your brain will change, and you'll eat less food. But sometimes you're not getting enough calories. And also, like if you're eating a salad, for example, you could eat a salad, and it's not a whole lot of calories. You could put, peppers in there and tomatoes and onions if you want to, and lettuces. That's essentially 0 calories right there. And then maybe you throw some beans in there to fill you up. That's some calories. Maybe a salad dressing, some calories. But generally speaking, you're going to be eating less food. You might, if you lose too much weight, then you might want to have to change it around, start adding things like avocados and nuts, because those are things that are higher in calories and are going to get you filled up again too. So just be careful. If some people, and it's human nature, you go to the extreme, you start realizing, I feel so good, I want to continue this forever. And I want to, if I pushed it this far and I feel good, what if I push it further and push it further? There is a limit to this. And so if you start losing too much weight, again, adding avocados and nuts to your food is a good way to put on weight again. Sometimes you think the clock is reset every time you mess up. It's not true. Dr. Joe, I was doing great for 3 weeks, and then I went out. My friends were having chicken wings, and I had a couple of chicken wings, and I got to start all over again. No, you don't. Okay, it happens. Mistakes happen. I remember one time, where was I? Anyway, I can't remember where I was. And I just loved this one, it was Italian food. Okay, I guess it was at a restaurant. And I said, it's vegan, right? Absolutely vegan. And so every time I went in, yes, it was vegan. Oh, no, it was a Thai restaurant. That's right. And then finally, I asked the waitress, I said, I was talking to somebody, and I said, it's really good here, and it's all vegan. And they said, well, it's not vegan. We use chicken broth. So everybody had told me it was vegan up to that point, like 3 or 4 times, and then they said, oh, no, we use chicken broth. Some people don't know the term. Some people don't know what that means. Chicken broth many times is loaded with monosodium glutamate. So, I always say if I don't know, it doesn't count. But if you do cheat, even if you do know, it's okay. Take a breath. It's not the end of the world. Just go back to eating right again. It's not going to kill you because you made this little mistake. One of the things I want you to do as you start changing your diet is I want you to start trying new foods, because so many of us get stuck in a rut. And here's what I've learned after going over thousands of people's diets with them, is I have people write down everything they eat. And what I'll do is I kind of innocently start circling things. And you'll see in whoever it is, about 6, maybe 8 different foods over and over and over again. they have coffee, they have chicken, they have whatever, sandwiches. And you see the same foods occurring over and over again. And that's not good because then you're stuck. You're caught in a trap, as Elvis once said. And we like our foods. I'm in a rut. I get in a rut too. I like my certain foods, and I go my little phases and crazes, and that's fine. But I want you to try different things. Now, what's going to happen is some of them you're going to like. Some of them you're not going to like. It's okay if you don't like something. That's good for you. There's other things that are good for you. Skip it. Move on. Just keep trying new things with the understanding is you want them to be mainly based in fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Plant-based if we can. If you start trying new things, you're going to find new things. And you're going to say, oh my gosh, that's my new favorite restaurant. I just tried their blank. I love it. I hear this all the time with my book, Eating Right for the Health of It. Dr. Joe, I tried your almond fettuccine. Oh my gosh, it's the greatest thing in the world. I can't stop eating it. Dr. Joe, I tried your sun-dried tomato basil pesto. Oh my God, where's it been all my life? I have soups in there. I have desserts. I've broken down in, breakfast, lunches, dinner, snacks, desserts, soups, salad dressings. It's real easy, simple stuff. We have it as we can send it as an attachment as well if you want to have it on your computer and not a hard copy. Some people don't have hard copies anymore. We still do. I'll sign it for you. Can't sign a computer though. They do sell for a lot though. I tell you on eBay. I think one of my books was sell for like $85 and it was signed. And I thought, how about that? I should sign them and sell them myself. So we have recipes on our website, drjoe.com. We did a lecture called So What Can I Eat? You could listen to that. That's no charge. And so now we're trying to break it down and teach you what to do. You say, okay, Dr. Joe, I'm going to make the commitment to eat right. I don't know what else to do. And so we're going to teach you all that. So the book is there. This show is on the website. So What Can I Eat is on the website. We cover this a lot in a lot of our shows. Now, another issue comes up. People come to me and they say, Dr. Joe, I've changed my diet, but I'm afraid I'm not going to get all the nutrition that I need. Have you heard that? If you don't drink milk, you're not going to get calcium. If you don't eat meat, you're not going to get protein. Believe me, folks, I'm so exhausted by people coming to me with what they think is a novel thing. Yeah, we're going to get protein if you don't eat meat. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, well, you're just an idiot. You get plenty of protein. Where do cows get their protein from? That's what I always say. I say, where do cows get their protein from? Then I turn around and walk away. So many times people think they're not going to get enough nutrition. Well, when it comes to nutritional deficiencies, people that have a bad diet are way more deficient than people that have a good diet. I mean, that's how insane that is. It's like, I'm eating a good diet, I'm going to have deficiencies. I'm eating, double beef hamburgers. I guess that's better for me. No, it's not. So a couple of supplements I want you to consider, and everybody should be getting in their diet anyway. One of them is B12. Now, if you're a vegan, absolutely positively, you should be supplementing with B12. We have Dr. Joe's Essential Source, which has B12 in it. We have Dr. Joe's B Complex, which I take every day. It has B12 in it because we get B vitamins from bacteria eating flesh. Okay, so you eat a piece of meat, the bacteria is eating the flesh, breaking it down, and it spits out B12 and other B vitamins too. They're made from bacteria. And so if you're not eating flesh, you may be B12 deficient. Now, you only need a little bit of B12 in a lifetime. It's not easily absorbed. It's not readily stored. And so you want to get B12. I take it every day. Okay? So if you're eating the right foods, plants, studies have shown you're probably not going to get enough B12 if you're good vegan, if you're eating a good vegan diet. Vegetarians and vegans, higher risk of B12 deficiency. It's the only supplement or nutrient that you have to worry about, and omega-3s, I'll cover that too, that you have to worry about if you're eating a plant-based diet. That's it. You're going to get enough of everything else along with things like super greens and essential source. You're going to be fine, okay? So B12 is really important. It helps protein metabolism. It transports oxygen for red blood cells. It helps the nervous system. And again, as a chiropractor and nutritionist, I'm very worried about your nervous system. So B12 is important. B12 is also going to give you a big burst of energy. One of the things we can do for patients with chronic fatigue, we can give them a B12 shot. And boy, it's incredible when you give somebody a B12 shot, how much energy they get. It's like, whoa, this is great. And so many times when people start coming off their coffees or their stimulants, we may need to give them some B12 supplements, and it works great. Too little vitamin B can lead to anemia, nervous system damage, infertility, heart disease. The only scientifically proven way for vegans to get their B12 levels is to take supplements or eat food that's fortified with it. But chances are, if you're taking a Super Greens and you're taking a B12 supplement, you're going to be fine. There's nothing to worry about there. There are some B12 forms in some seaweeds, but there's still debate on is it a form that the body can use. So just be safe. If you take too much, you're going to pee it out anyway. So it's one of those, again, very inexpensive insurance policies that I recommend you buy, so to speak. As you get older, your B12 is absorbed through the stomach through something called intrinsic factor. Intrinsic factor is produced in the stomach. It latches onto the B12 and absorbs it. As we get older, our intrinsic factor levels drop. So absorption of B12 drops. So something I feel that all senior citizens should be doing, and when I say senior citizens, probably anybody even over 40 or 50, should be taking a B12 supplement. And again, if you take too much, unless you mega dose, you're going to pee it out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I take Dr. Joe's Essential Source. I take Dr. Joe's B-Complex every day. You're fine there. Another nutrient that we have to get from an outside source, unless you're out in the sun a lot, is, say it with me, vitamin D. Now, we started the show by saying that England now is distributing vitamin D to people to help prevent COVID. I talked about this way back. I've talked about it for years, before the word COVID even existed. And so vitamin D is vital, especially in the winter months. Now, in the summer, if you're out 10, 15, 20 minutes a day, a couple of times a week, you got your shirt open, you got your short sleeves on and your shorts, chances are you may not need a vitamin D supplement. However, in the winter months, you cannot get enough vitamin D, even if you're out in the sun, because the sun is hitting the earth on an angle. That's why it's winter. And you're not getting enough UVB rays. UVB converts cholesterol into vitamin D through a chain of events. So I strongly advise you take a vitamin D supplement. The only way to really know how much you need is get a blood work. We can do it here in our office. We do something called a micronutrient test. And the micronutrient test tests for a lot of things. Oxidative stress, how's your immune system working, vitamin D, a bunch of other nutrients. We have other tests. We can test your hormones as well. So we've got a ton of tests that we can do for you if we need them to find out where you are. But just to be safe, I recommend 5,000 international units of vitamin D every single day. How much is that? 5 drops. That's all it is, 5 drops. You can put it in your Super Greens and Essential Source, which I do. You can put it in your mouth. You can mix it in your food. I don't care how you get here. Just get here. Alita Adams had a song many years ago. I don't care how you get here. Just get here if you can. And so I don't care how you get it in your body. Just get it in your body. But vitamin D, it's got to be vitamin D3, not vitamin D2, because vitamin D2, studies have shown, is not as effective as vitamin D3. That's why many times a doctor may prescribe vitamin D, but they give you vitamin D2 and they give you 50,000 international units to take once a week. A couple of things wrong that I don't like about that. Number one, it's vitamin D2, not my favorite source. Number two is that if you take too much of anything, you can't absorb it properly. I like to spread things out. And that's why 5 drops a day of Dr. Joe's vitamin D, absolute no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. I can't imagine why you wouldn't do it. It's very inexpensive and it works extremely well. And there's just study after study for brain function and sexual function, hormone production, immune system, cancer prevention. I mean, there's so many things that vitamin D does, so there's no reason why you shouldn't be taking it. If you're not taking it, don't say I didn't tell you, okay? Patients come to me all the time and they say, Dr. Joe, I've been listening to you for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is. I've read your books, a huge fan of yours. It's a pleasure to meet you. I should have come sooner. And I never said I told you so to anybody, but I think it a lot. Because they say, I heard you talk about, 20 years ago about, neck problems causing headaches or digestive issues causing acid reflux, and that means I don't break down my proteins, which can affect brain function. And so they say, I've heard it all before. I just never did anything about it. So I don't blame anybody. There's no time like now to start getting well, but I really want you to start getting well now. So if you do want to make an appointment to come see us, don't be like so many other patients that say, why didn't I do this sooner? We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. We would love to be your doctors. We have chiropractic, we have medical, we have nutrition, we have digestive issues. On the website, drjoe.com, there's a drop down that says services. Click on that, drop it down. It explains chiropractic. It explains the PRP that we do, which is great in most cases for arthritis. We use it for erectile dysfunction patients, women that have vaginal issues, if they're leaking bladder, if the vagina just isn't as strong as it used to be. We can do hair restoration with it. We can do non-surgical facials. We have machines that can actually work out your muscles for you, which is amazing. I did about 8 sessions with this one machine, and my stomach's never been flatter, even when I was in high school. It's crazy how good it works. We have machines that can actually help melt away fat. So we have digestive issues, we have supplements, chiropractic care, of course. So we have all the services available. We truly are a wellness center, and we want to get you well and keep you well. For many of the services, we take insurance. If you've ever been in a car accident, if the car was damaged, you were damaged 100% of the time. So as soon as you're in an accident, come see us immediately. Even if it was your fault, you're still hurt. Come see us, and anyone you know in an accident, get them to see us right away. You can book right online, drjoe.com. The initial visit was $375. That was exam, x-rays, consultation, first adjustment, going over the x-rays, and a nutritional evaluation. We've reduced that to $199. It was $149. We had to raise the price, folks. I'm sorry. It's $199 for that first visit. That price will go up again, unfortunately, for you guys. But that's all that we just said, and then we do accept insurance in most cases for treatment after that. If you don't have insurance, we have cash plans available, so it's really easy to be a patient with us. So book your appointments right now, drjoe.com. You can book it right online. You can call us, whatever works best for you. So we're talking today about mistakes people are getting healthy, but then mistakes that they make thinking that they're doing the right thing. Vitamin D is just so huge. We got to be getting that vitamin D if you're elderly, if you have darker skin, if you live in northern latitudes, colder climates, if you don't spend a lot of time outdoors. A friend of mine, his family lives in Dominican Republic. And he said he went to visit him, and he said, I want to take some of your vitamin D to my mother. And I said, well, she lives in Dominican. I don't think she needs it. He goes, no, Dr. Joe, you don't understand. We don't go outside. It's too hot. He says, we park our cars in the garage. We get in the car. We put on the air conditioner. We park in parking decks. We go inside. He says, we're hardly ever outside. He said, so we probably get less vitamin D than you do here because you do go out sometimes. I never thought about that. I always thought people in warmer climates, of course, they're getting enough vitamin D. Perhaps not. So, and of course, he's dark-skinned as well. So because he's dark-skinned, he's going to get less vitamin D, even if he is out, as to somebody who's lighter skinned. So I want to cover omega-3 fatty acids. I said the only two supplements everybody should be taking, everybody should be taking all supplements, but the two, vitamin D, of course, we need, and we also have to talk about omega-3 fatty acids. Now, there's three different forms of omega-3s, ALA, DHA, and EPA. ALA you can get from plants. You can get it from flax seeds. You can get it from macadamia nuts, walnuts. ALA is essential means you have to get it from an outside source. So you got to get ALA. ALA converts into DHA and EPA, which are now technically non-essential because your body makes DHA and EPA from ALA. However, the conversion rate is very low. So even if you're eating a good plant-based diet and you're getting your omega-3 fatty acids in the form of ALA, your body has to convert it into DHA and EPA. It's a longer chain. It's an 18 chain is ALA, I think, and 21 is DHA and EPA, if I remember. Anyway, not important. So plants with higher ALA content, things like flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, hemp seeds, soybeans, the body can convert it, but in most cases, the conversion isn't as efficient as I'd like it to be. Now, you'll function, but you're not going to thrive. I say you'll survive, not thrive. I want you to thrive. I want to turn back time. I want to reverse the aging process for everybody listening to this show. And we do that by making sure our body, as we get older, we just up some of the supplements that we didn't need as much when we were younger, we take as we're older. I take 1,000 milligrams or 2 capsules of Dr. Joe's algae-based vegan omega-3s. I don't like fish oil as an omega-3 because fish oil oftentimes is contaminated with mercury. And it's not in the proper form. It has to be in a phospholipid form. Krill is in the phospholipid form, another great source of omega-3 fatty acids, but algae is the purest form because krill don't produce omega-3s. Fish don't produce omega-3s. They get it from eating smaller fish, which eat the algae. So I make our algae omega-3 from algae because it's purest form, and you run almost zero risk of contamination with algae oil. So I take that every day. It's on the website, drjoe.com. You probably should too. It helps the immune system. It helps brain function. It helps your skin. It helps the liver. People ask me all the time, say, Dr. Joe, how do you do shows like this, many times without notes for hours at a time? And you have all this scientific data just spewing out of you. My brain works well. And I exercise my brain every day through nutrition, through study, through research, through radio shows, lectures, seeing patients. So my brain is really in good shape. And one of the secrets I use is that I use omega-3 fatty acids. Last week we did a show, and I did a whole section on nitric oxide. And boy, patients got excited about it. So I do want to talk about that as a supplement as well, because nitric oxide does so many different things. It helps hormone development, increases circulation to the brain, the reproductive organs, the digestive system, the muscles. A lot of people use nitric oxide before a workout. They kind of blast themselves. They take 4 Dr. Joe's nitric oxide supplements, and they tell me it's way better than coffee or even steroids. They feel so much better, so much energy. And so I take nitric oxide every day. You probably should too. There was a quote that I gave last week. I can't remember who said it. They said, aging is not the loss of hormones. Aging is a reduction of nitric oxide, because the reduction of nitric oxide then reduces your hormones. So nitric oxide is one of those wonder supplements nobody talks about. Glutathione is another one. It's great for the liver. Dr. Kat, one of my doctors, and I were just talking before the show, and she's seeing research now with autism and getting kids on N-acetylcysteine and glutathione. N-acetylcysteine converts into glutathione. And we have glutathione on our website, drjoe.com, and taking them on a scale of 1 to 10, from a 10 to a 3 in many cases in autism. So again, that's Dr. Kat's quote. I don't know what study she was quoting, but crazy results when you get the liver healthy. And if you drink, if you do even legal drugs, prescription drugs, smoking, coffee, the liver's getting bombarded. Glutathione is the savior to the liver. And so I do recommend that. So my supplement protocols, I take Super Greens and Essential Source, which everybody, minimum supplements you should be taking every day. I take omega-3 fatty acids. I take B-complex. I take Dr. Joe's male hormone support, and that's DHA, and DHA converts into sex hormones, so I take that every day. I take estrogen regulator to prevent my body from producing too much estrogen. I said the glutathione, I think, already. I take digestive enzymes whenever I eat a cooked meal. So I got a handful of supplements that I take every single day. You probably should too. It's probably the best investment in your health you'll ever make. Because if you have to go to a doctor and with $4,000 and $5,000 deductibles, we don't know what the future holds in healthcare. It's unfortunate, but it's crazy. Deductibles, copays, insurance companies just stiffen you. I just saw a commercial the other day for some law firm is suing insurance companies that denied payments. And they had a methodical way to deny these payments. And you, as the little guy, go, I guess I'm not getting paid. There's nothing I can do. But it turns out it was breaking their own contract. And so finally, lawyers are suing insurance companies saying, stop it already. This is ridiculous. You're breaking the law. These people are suffering, many times dying, because the insurance says, I'm not going to pay for it. So I always tell people, listen, if you need care, if you need supplements, you need chiropractic care, if you need a PRP, if you need medical care, and it's going to change your life and save your life, suck it up and pay it out of pocket. Well, my insurance doesn't cover that. Yeah, and you still need the care. That doesn't change the fact you need the care. So I know that's a hard thing to say sometimes, but I can't imagine anything more important than my health. So iodine is another supplement many people don't get enough of. We put it in Super Greens and Essential Source. It is vital for proper thyroid function. If you have fatigue, if you're gaining weight, if you're sluggish, if you can't lose weight, if you're bloated, hair is falling out, these can all be signs of thyroid deficiency. I did a show on thyroid. It's on the website, drjoe.com. Just type in thyroid, listen to the show. But you have to get iodine in your diet. And the only sources really of iodine in our society are seafood, which I don't recommend you eat because it's many times loaded with toxicity, iodized salt, which you shouldn't be eating the salt to begin with, and then, of course, Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source, which is absolutely a no-brainer. Everybody should be taking that too. So I'm just about out of time. Gosh, I got so much more to cover. I'll probably cover it next week. What we talked about today is mistakes people make when they think they're healthy, but they're not. And you could listen to the show on our website along with 1,500 hours of others, drjoe.com. If you want to make an appointment, if I finally convinced you that your health is important, if you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, if you've ever been in a car accident, digestive issues, arthritis, stop suffering. Go to the website, drjoe.com. We have a drop down. It says services. You can see all the services we offer. Make an appointment now. The initial chiropractic visit was $375. We've reduced it now to $199. We'd love to be your doctors. That's an exam, x-rays, consultation, first adjustment, going over the x-rays, and a complete nutrition evaluation. Nutrition evaluation alone is $150. So if you want to do it right now on the website, drjoe.com. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. Folks, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. Thank you so much. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Dr. Joe Esposito. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening to For the Health of It. Remember to subscribe to this podcast, and I'll help you naturally get well and stay well. You can also listen to and call into my radio show live Sunday evenings from 7 to 9 Eastern Time on WSBRadio.com and on a WSB Radio app.